I still do this. Why do I still do this? Because someone has to. That's why. Okay, we've got ourselves Zio episode 31, Beast Morphers episode 6, and Ryusoulger episode 5. Let's get this gravy train rolling with, Zio 31, where we start the Agito tribute arc. And you knew that Shirokuro wrote himself into a corner when he introduced the another writer concept when they got to Agito, because we have the another writer version of Agito. Yeah, I'm going to be calling him another writer of Agito because the original series Agito already had a common writer called Another Agito. SMRT. And no, it's not the original Another Agito that's running around. Kaoru Kino. We don't know who this another writer of Agito is right now, but we do know that he has a massive hate on against the G3 team. Okay, backing up. For those who don't know, Kamen Rider Agito was originally supposed to be a sequel to Kamen Rider Kuga, although that was contradicted and conflicted with for several factors, most of which included the fact that we never actually okay, I never actually saw Agito because from what reviews I've seen of it, it does not look like a show I would like, particularly because there's some characters in there that I really do not like. Particularly the person who I think is the another writer of Agito. This guy named Hojo, who is a researcher working with the this anti-unknown organization. The unknowns are what the police identify as the unidentified life forms slash. Basically, they were hunting down extra normal monsters that were basically showed up after Kuga's series had concluded. They were trying to make Agito a sequel to Kamen Rider Kuga, and that, one of the writers there, Kamen Rider G3, was actually designed around Kuga. G3 was this private military created, technically a Kamen Rider. Basically, what would happen if you took a Kamen Rider and a Metal Hero and smashed them together? Basically, it was an extra enhanced suit of power armor. And G3, it was originally meant to be mass-produced, which, okay, I'm getting off track again. Sorry about that, but, anyways, this another writer version of Agito is tracking down and attacking the G3 unit. And again, when I saw that there was mass-produced G3s, my mind immediately thought to, why? Even the show asks, why are we wasting our time mass producing the G3 units? They were high tech back in 2001. It's been a couple of years since then. Technology has kind of progressed since then. I mean, sure, we know that G4 was an absolute ungodly disaster, but last we saw at the end of Agito, the original user of the G3 Mild, which was the prototype for the mass production G3s, let's see, Ogami, I think his name was. Whatever. Again, I never saw Agito. I just know the bare clip notes. Anyways, he was left in charge of the G5 team, and he's actually the one in charge of the G3 unit here. Which, again, thankfully the show asks, why don't we have ourselves our newest G, 13 or whatever running around? Apparently they figured that the G3 units would be easier to mass produce, since, the technology, again, and funding has most likely increased since 2001. So on that note, I can kind of see where they're coming from, but again, G3 is not because technology's progressed so far since then. G3 is completely outmoded and outdated, as shown when the another writer of Agito shows up and starts smacking them around like dolls. And that's not the only reason why we don't exactly know why another writer of Agito is attacking them, but what we do know is that when he does attack people, he turns them into more another writer Agitos. which is actually kind of a nice inversion of how Agito the series went out. Yeah, apparently, yeah. For those who don't know, there's actually technically more than one Kamen Rider Agito running around. Yeah, apparently, the seeds of Agito, as it was called, were planted in various people with psychic potential by a godlike being called the Overlord of Light to combat his brother, the Overlord of Darkness. Uh, and yeah, but much like how when the Overlord of Light spread the Agito seeds to people, it would either turn them into perfect Agitos if they were basically found worthy, or basically just prove themselves, or turn them into imperfect Agitos like Kamen Rider Gills or the original Another Agito. If basically they had some like major hangups, or if they discovered that their true Agito powers became perfect Agitos, they just decided to kill themselves because, well, we have psychic powers. And yeah, no joke, that's actually what happened. They discovered they have superpowers, and their first instinct is to kill themselves. You can see why I don't want to watch that show. And yeah, it's not exaggeration, that's actually what happened most of the time in Agito. And yeah, the people that actually did discover their Agito potential or developed powers turned out to be assholes. And well, yeah, like much like with the Overlord of Light creating new Agitos to combat the Overlord of Darkness and his monster and minion faction, the Lords. There's another writer version of Agito is attacking the G3 unit and turning his victims into basically copies of itself. And yeah, apparently the reason why is that Schwartz created this another writer to go and lure out Shoichi Sugami, the the main Kamen Rider Agito, who, in the time since his series concluded, not only managed to open up his restaurant, but decided to go over to France to continue learning more to perfecting his culinary technique. But then as soon as he heard from Mana, who is basically the female supporting lead of Agito, when he heard from Mana that Sogo was running around, showed up at his restaurant looking for him, he was like, yeah, okay, I gotta head back to Japan. Some shit's gone down back at home. C'est la vie! And yeah, just left the restaurant he was working at, minus the chef. Again. He gave not even barely an explanation. Again, most of the cast from Agito were kind of assholes. Apparently Schwartz has decided to go and do this new tactic, creating the Another Riders in the present day instead of back when the Kamen Riders were originally active. As we've seen with Another Zio, Another Blade, and now the Another Rider version of Agito. Why is he doing this? To prevent them from creating new ride watches? But apparently that's not it we have no idea what Schwartz's agenda is. He knows that Sogo is very, very close to becoming Omazio. All he needs to do is collect the remaining riders' ride watches. So why is he still creating more Another Riders and potentially giving him the chance to create more, to create the remaining ride watches? I have no idea what the show's doing anymore, and I don't think it does either. And when speaking of not knowing, apparently, another prominent thing about Agito that gets under my skin is that basically the entire, Shoichi, our main Agito, his name is not actually Shoichi Sugami. He actually had amnesia during the incident that gave him the powers of Agito, and so he went by the name I think it was Wallet or something that was on him when he woke up with his amnesia, and decided to take the name Shoichi Sugami, while his real name was taken by a guy named Tetsuya Sawaki, if I remember right, who became the lackey of the Overlord of Darkness, who was helping him because his sister was kidnapped by some government guys and basically brainwashed and basically mated to another perfected Agito, and she killed herself, and she was also the original Shoichi's girlfriend or something like that. You know what? I don't care. Anyways, yeah, Shoichi. Anyways, Tsukiyomi, as a turn, just like Shoichi, actually has amnesia and didn't know anything about herself before her time in the Resistance, where she worked under Gates and Waz. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this during the Blade arc. Apparently, Waz originally was the leader of the resistance that Gates and Tsukiyomi belonged to, opposing Omazuyo, and he actually volunteered to infiltrate Omazuyo's, inner circle to basically feed information. But the man went native and became the insane preacher zealot that we know him as now. Yep, he went native, drank the Kool-Aid, or let's see, Flavor Aid as it actually was called. But yeah, that's all that taken care of. So yeah, Tsukiyomi actually has no memories of what she was before the resistance, but I think we know now since, well, when she, Sogo, Gates, and Waz interceded on another attack perpetrated by the another writer of Akito, one of the another Akito clones tried to attack Tsukiyomi, and she managed to freeze time around it, just like the Time Jackers. Yeah, she apparently is a amnesiac time jacker. This raises several questions, most of which I'm pretty sure are going to be very disappointingly answered. And yeah, Schwartz is very curious about this, so he actually, well, yeah, his original plan was to try and draw out Shoichi, but apparently this another writer of Agito is too busy following his own agenda to listen to Schwartz. So, again, our villains are kind of stupid. As exemplified with Ur and Ora, are basically trying to go and double cross Schwartz. Well, again, mostly because he's been going behind their backs, and no doubt Ur is still pissed off at Schwartz after the whole Another Kikai incident. So yeah, Shoichi's back in Japan. He transforms into Akito, and yeah, this is all going according to plan because apparently Schwartz's goal this time around is to steal Shoichi's seed of Akito and implant it in his another rider to make him stronger to get back to Sogo, Gates, and Waz. I don't know. I don't know what he's been doing, and apparently he's just trying to tap into old villain threats or something like that, as seen when he had White Waz go and create another blade last time. Or again, I could just be completely off track here, but the show just doesn't seem to know what it's doing at this point. It just seems to want to get itself over it and get as many cameos as it can before. All right, yeah, Zio is still it's still Zio. Mm. All right, yeah, moving on to better stuff with Power Rangers Beast Morphers episode 6. Yeah, now that Grid Battle Force has the Gigadrone from last time in its control, Nate is basically planning on, well, reverse engineering it to basically come up with predictive countermeasures for when when Evok and his guys go and send in more Gigadrones to hopefully prevent them from getting more Morphex, and potentially learn some other interesting tidbits about Evox, and he does not want that. So he sends Roxy and one of Scrozzle's new Robotrons to infiltrate the hangar and destroy the Gigadrone or retrieve it, whichever comes first. And Roxy decided to, well, she actually reactivates the Gigadrone inside the hangar, which would have it go on a rampage and basically destroy Grid Battle Force from the inside out. But again, that while this was going on, let's see. Devin's basically having some leadership issues between him and let's see. Oh great, I'm forgetting the Blues name again. Let's see, Ravi. Yeah, that's it, Ravi. Yeah, basically they're butting heads a little bit with Devin trying to push his own instincts for priority in terms of leadership, and mostly trying to not exactly ignoring Ravi. He's basically not taking Ravi's more experience with the whole Grid Battle Force Ranger thing into consideration with his decision making. But, it gets resolved, basically learning that a good leader, listens to people around him, But anyways, back on track here. Roxy and let's see, what was it, Meltratron, whatever it is. Keep Roxy and Rappy and Zoe busy. Scrozzle actually manages to infiltrate the hangar and goes on a bit of a shopping spree, including stealing that indiscreet robot's head. if this is going where I think it's going, well, yeah, it's definitely a good workaround for something from Goldbusters that didn't really make a whole lot of sense. But yeah, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it because anybody who hasn't seen Goldbusters, I want to keep it a surprise. So yeah. Anyways, this was the episode that actually debuted the let's see, what was it? Well, basically the Beast Morpher Rangers Megazord. Let's see, the Beast X Megazord, whatever it's called. And yeah, while Roxy actually manages to reactivate the Gigadrone, she has Scrozzle go and send out a second Gigadrone, which requires them to actually go and try and configure the three Zords into the new Megazord. And well, it goes from there. They manage to combine the three Zords together. They defeat the two Gigadrones, and well, it's a pure victory since they've basically lost the info that could have helped them detect future Gigadrone appearances. But likewise, Evok's side has also not only destroyed two Gigadrones, lost two Gigadrones, but because of this whole plan, they lost a whole lot of Morphex in the bargain. And then there's still Scrozzle's secret project. So, well, yeah, this is why I like Power Rangers Beast Morphers. Both sides are not stupid, especially the villains, which has been a major problem with Power Rangers ever since the Neo Saban era happened. Both sides were basically idiots, and only managed to resolve itself thanks to plot contrivances. But here, both sides are actually again presented as competent. And again, that's how you do a good story. If you don't write your characters as idiots. And yeah, moving on to Ryusoulger, we ourselves, they finally managed, speaking of not being stupid, the Ryusoulgers managed to figure out that it's Creon, I think that's still what his name is, whatever, that Creon was the one after, using a new soul or whatever it's called, and to go and probe his mind, they learned from her that that was Creon that's the one responsible for creating the new Minosaurs. And so they figured, all right, all we have to do is just kill this sentient pile of Nickelodeon slime, and no more Minosaurs, and all we have to do is just take care of the remaining Druidons. So yeah, that they make hunting down Creon a top priority, which is made easier since he's created a new werewolf Minosaur who's going around attacking people. And well, he manages to bite into let's see, who was the green again? Toa. The werewolf Minosaur manages to bite into Toa, and according to Creon, even if the Minosaur was defeated, the poison that's inside of its fangs, will still kill its victim after 2 days. And which again starts to show why. This continues the development of Toa and Bamba since, the person that the Minosaur was birthed from, it's actually a friend of Toa and Bamba's. I'm guessing the person that they were staying with, who was, she likes to pick up stray animals that were just dumped, that were just left out in the streets by assholes. And the Minosaur in question was born of her hatred towards those people that just abuse their pets, that abuse animals like that. So yeah, Bamba moves in to try and kill her to again just go straight for the easiest and quickest solution. But Toa's starting to realize, maybe Rio, maybe Ko and the others, maybe the whole killing innocent civilians thing to go and just stop the Minosaur immediately is not exactly the most ethical thing to do. So they, and then the remaining Ryusoulgers actually managed to get into a fight with Tankjo. Let's see, Ko, Melto, and Asuna. Yeah, they get intercepted by Tankjo, leaving Bamba to go and deal with Creon and the werewolf Minosaur, who was planning on using the venom in his fangs to go and affect the local water supply and basically just wipe out the local population. Which again, that's when you have a Minosaur like that, you use it in the most practical way you can, i.e., poisoning the water supply with its corrosive venom. Again, I like it when when the characters in a series aren't stupid and they utilize the resources that they have. So once Bamba takes care of the werewolf Minosaur before it grows, he joins up. Let's see. He releases his Kishiryu Millie Needle to go and help combine with Kishiryu O and force Tankjo to retreat. And yeah, he manages to survive, but yeah, I definitely know that next episode is when we're finally going to be done with Tankjo. So yeah, the show just kind of blew its load with this guy. Only around for like around 6 or so episodes before poof, and then we have ourselves some new guy running around, and who has to be stronger since, well, yeah, if they manage to kill Creon, or what was his name again? Let's see, hold on. Creon. Once they kill him, then yeah, series over. The threat of the Minotaurs is gone, and the Druidons poof. So yeah, they kind of have to go and get themselves some new villains in here. Otherwise, it might unfortunately start to it might be Ghost Sager 2.0, where they just jump from villain faction to villain faction to villain faction, and each one kind of just. Only we don't have any Buredoran to basically be the connecting thread here. So yeah, unless you start introducing these guys sooner rather than later, it just kind of feels off. So yeah, oh yeah, again, because the werewolf Minosaur was dealt, even though the werewolf Minosaur was dealt with, let's see, sorry, still learning the names. Toe was still infected by this werewolf bite, and I'm guessing that it probably turned him into another werewolf Minosaur or kill him. Either one wouldn't surprise me. So yeah, Zio still continues to hurt me, and Beast Morphers and Ryusoulger, they're still continuing to be the better side of this Toku season. So, alright. Well, then again, what else is new? So, here's me keeping on. See ya!